mixed in. He has won over a course and distance in the past.
Yeah, his last win came over course and distance, and it came over course and distance off this mark. The handicapper has dropped him back down to that mark after just 2 defeats so far this season. He hasn't fired fully on either of those outings, but his first run came the 10th of June, and at that point a lot of Tim Easterby's horses would have been needing their first start back. He did build on that with a bit better effort at Beverley on his next start. Another step forward is going to be required. A little bit of a worry now that the feedback seems to be from both Paul Mulrennan and Ben Curtis, who you've spoken to there, that the ground has gone onto the easier side of good, and his best form has been on all weather or on really rattling fast ground. So the conditions easing might not have done him a favour.
Yeah, I agree. A couple of others, Joe Fanning said it was near soft. But all the jockeys saying it was certainly on the slow side after a couple of heavy showers. Is Latan, will that suit him? He's won good ground in the past.
He's got form on everything, really. On soft ground, he's got form on everything, and his winning form has been on ground that has been good or slower, so it probably is something that'll suit him, and he's on a decent handicap mark as well, is Latan. So he's one that you can start to make a bit of a case for. You've got to be forgiving to some degree, because you're going back a good way since he last got his head in front, and the handicapper hasn't exactly let him plummet in the weights. He's only £4 lower, despite being a year and a half without a win. But his run last time out at Windsor was a good one behind Broad Appeal and Carp Kid. So he's back in some sort of form. Just think that Windsor race was probably a bit of a weaker one than he finds himself in here. I didn't feel there were too many well handicapped horses in that.
Michelle Strogoff has won over course and distance, got a bit of form, albeit you've got to wind the clock back a fair way and on easier ground.
Yep, another one that seems to go on anything really, Michele Strogoff. He's going to go from the front, you would imagine. That's usually the way. They would maybe have wanted something, a race with a little bit less competition on the lead, because he often has to work quite hard to get to the position that he wants. I thought he ran pretty well at Beverley last time out. He was towards the inside on a card, unusually for Beverley, where pretty much all the races developed and the winners came up the centre, and he was kept towards that far side rail. And the winner of that race, Colony Queen, had been going the right way. It wasn't a bad little race, that. He's got a wide draw, but it's not going to bother him too much given his way of going. He might have to work a tiny bit harder to get to the lead than he would if he was on the inside, but it's not really going to change what they do with him, I wouldn't have thought. And he will be right up there. And at some point, he's going to click again soon, I think.
Okay, we'll find out shortly what it's going to be today. You mentioned pace. He likes to go forward from 13. Vampish 11, she likes to go forward. There's a few of these like to race prominently as well.
Yeah, Aya's another one. Sylvester's aboard, and you would think that he from stall 7 will be getting up there as well. That horse can be quite free, if not getting to the front, can be quite free even if in front. Where's the Hood? Little India, that one tends to race handy, has led in the past as well, going up in trip today again, but she's by Manjuro. She's got plenty of form over further in the past, so she could run all right. But I think you're going to get an end-to-end gallop in this now. I don't think it's going to be too much of a messy race. I do think Sudona shaped nicely last time out and probably is the one to beat, but it's not as if the market hasn't found her.
Yeah, 13-8. Well-backed favourite as they continue to load up. And David Amari, he edges one away from his 1,000th British flat success. It's some achievement in that space of time.
It is. I know Dave well. I help him out a little bit with some analysis and stuff, and he puts a lot into it. Got a good routine, and top stable.
Okay, let's hope it can be Sudona. We'll find out. Summer Grand later on has got a chance, but we're just about ready. Let's get the call with John.
And they're off and they're racing. So it was Adley Beatham, the one who was slowest away. Cornborough and also Regal Mirage right at the back of the field in the early stages too. A few of them pushing on for the lead. Michele Strogoff's right up there, so too Thomas Cranmer. And joining them now to the inside is Sudona, who's ridden forward this afternoon with Vampish towards the outside. 5th place, Yellow Sleeves belong to Banksy, just ahead of Zlatan. And then in the middle of the pack, Little India next to Aya. Green Gage is slightly further back. Barishnikov comes next ahead of Adlibitum and Coimbra. And the back marker, Regal Mirage, as they now swing left-handed around the motorway turn. The leader is Michele Strogoff and Alistair Rawlinson, striding on by a length and a half to Vampish in 2nd place. Sudona's on the rail 3rd, and then Thomas Cranmer to the outer. Nose-banded head, Yellow Sleeves of Banksy still right in behind those with Aya, and then Zlatan next. Zlatan's in the red and dark blue. After these, Little India's well in touch. Green Gage slightly further back. Barishnikov just nudged up there. Still just 4th from the back of the field with Adlibitum, Coimbra and Regal Mirage, the back marker. Passing the 4-pole, still it is that Michele Strogoff leads the field from Vampish. Sudona sits and waits on the inside running rail next to Banksy. Little India out wide. Thomas Cranmer still right in the thick of things as well. Vampish now loses ground. Aya's under pressure on the outside. Green Gage is next towards the inside, and Vampish has dropped away very tamely and is now last. Michele Strogoff, but Sudona right there on the outside, looks to be travelling fearsomely well. Zlatan right in behind him in 3rd place. They're clear now from Green Gage, who's plugging on into 4th place. Sudona is the leader as they now race to the final furlong. Sudona goes on. Zlatan is the one doing the chasing. Michele Strogoff is weakening. From the back, Coimbra picking up. Barishnikov staying on, but too late. Sudona holding off Zlatan here. Sudona goes on to win. Sudona from Zlatan. Up for 3rd was Barishnikov, just I think from Michele Strogoff, and Regal